Hello, my name is Chloe, and this black blob you'll see here in the background is Maverick, and I'm going to be talking a bit about how off works and how you should have your dog have all four paws on the floor, which is is how the off command works. So I'm going to talk about a little bit how it works exactly. So for example, how when a dog will always want to jump on you, and starting with that, you should always discourage it by what we call becoming a tree. So when you do that, it's kind of putting your hands up on your chest area, so that way you'll be unable to pet your dogs if they jump up on you, because if the first reaction of when they jump up on you is that you're going to want to push them off with your hands, but that is still considering touching your dogs and petting them, and that gives them some sort of attention. And that's going to turn into what the dogs are going to be thinking is going to be a game. They're going to be thinking, oh, this is a great game. I'm going to jump up on them, and they're going to push me down, and I'm going to jump up on them, and they're going to push me down. That's a fun, weird game that that me and the owner like to do when they come to the door and everything. This is a great little game. So that's why we call it being a tree. I like to think of it more specifically like if you're going down a slide or a water slide, what they usually have you do is to have your hands to yourself. So it's kind of thinking of that like it's a fun little slide. But so usually what you would tell them is when they do try to get off, or when they do jump on you, is if they're imagine their two paws are on your chest. You would say their name, and then off. Or another thing you can do as well is after or as well as you do this, you can also take a step back, so that kind of pushes them forward and has all 4 feet on the floor. So there is that, and then what else am I thinking of? Yes, like I was saying, all 4. Yeah, so usually dogs will see all jumping or all form. Yeah, the dogs will usually have jumping as a form of communication as well. And let me think of what else I should say. So another thing you can do as well is I'm going to show you one little thing that you can do. It's a little difficult for me to show you that my dog will jump on me. He can't jump on me because Maverick here is a 10-year-old. He's a 10-year-old dog. He knows that he shouldn't jump up, and his legs and arms are getting a little bit too old to jump up on me. So usually what I do for him instead is to tell him to get off of my bed onto the floor in case I need him to leave the room or something. So I'm going to be using that instead. And it might not work, I'm not 100% sure, because he is very food motivated, and the moment he sees or hears this little container that holds my treats, he might just jump off himself. But we will find out. So usually what you're going to do is get a high value treat, a $100 treat, aka a high value treat, something that they're going to go nuts for. That's absolutely delicious. One of their favorite foods. That's usually what we call a $100 treat. Or even a $50 treat, which is like their second favorite food. Absolutely delicious. They'll have it every time. And for calling their name and we're going to be calling off, as well as doing like a pointing direction. And another thing that you can do as well for this is you can teach them to come up on an object like a platform. I don't have anything in my hand just yet. Something like, for example, you can tell them to come up on the platform, to jump up on the couch or something. So that way, when all 4 paws are they'll know that all 4 paws are on the floor. That's how they kind of know what down is. So, for example, I'm going to call my dog's name, Maverick, and then I'm going to say down. So let's try this. Maverick, down. Yes, good down. I'm gonna give you lots of treats and lots of love, so you know that so you know that down was good is associated with good things. Good boy. Yes, good down. Oh, good sit. Good sit. Thank you. There we go. And then after that, I'm going to be pointing back up and telling him, Maverick, up. Yes, good up. Good up. Yes, good boy. Give them some good and give them a couple of treats. It's good boy. Good up. But yeah, that is going to be one example. That's going to be a little tip on going from up and down. And once they know that down is all four paws on the floor, it's kind of associated with good things, if that makes sense. Like, it's kind of like teaching them good things will come when all 4 feet are on the ground. But yeah, that's a little tip about learning. That's a little tip about learning how to teach your dog, down and why it's important. Thank you. Say bye, Maverick.